Ara, kill yourself.
What? How? Huh? What do you mean, do I wish? It's not like I have a choice.
Yes, kids, it's time for another questionable topic. Questioning is what anime has me doing, as the way it tends to show and depict suicide is, well, strange to say the least. Hella crazy even. Well, one of you should go tell anime that suicide is no joke. The chicken didn't cross the road to get to the other side. He did it to end his life by an oncoming truck. A forensic analysis would likely show you that Clucky here was immersed in too many anime series. See, hear me out. Anime has a knack for being able to make stuff that has no business doing so seem alluring. Ridiculous hairstyles, questionable food, doing absolutely fucking nothing. These can all seem alluring. Hell, even complete mid can seem alluring. Now, for whatever odd reason, that same enticing aura is shared with, that's right,
suicide.
Just look at the medium's most common method for ending it all. The old building leapers. Or we can pretend like we're on TikTok and make euphemisms for suicide. Call them professional gravity inspectors. And alternatively, amateur parkour athletes. These scenes all seem to share a few traits. The character approaches the ledge of a building. The sky has suddenly put on its best outfit. A fantastic view. The wind conveniently begins to blow. Suicide is a breeze. As the characters, they all look so relaxed. Then maybe another character conveniently shows up and blurts out a desperate Yamaro as they slowly begin what seems like an eternal 60 FPS slow-mo descent, falling and falling and falling like they're all completely weightless, but this is something not to be taken lightly. So recently, I was sitting there analyzing all of these scenes, and this thought in my head comes to me. Why do suicide moments in anime tend to look like such a vibe? Seriously, this all looks way too chill. You could practically use them to make a YouTube lo-fi chill beats and anime suicide scenes to study to video. Oh, so that's why Hitler killed himself. Now, some characters seem more than just relaxed. Look at this guy, he looks free from having to pay child support. How about this dude? Did he just emote before jumping to his death? And that is how you can quickly go from terminally online to terminally offline. No kids, attempting suicide will not turn you into a magical girl. Wow, this bitch even gets fireworks for her leap of doom? All my parents used were party poppers when I tried. Yeah, I love it when characters will do this little Michael Jackson lean. Man, don't you just love it when retirement comes early? Whoa, pause. Her hair is not blowing yet.
This should do the trick.
Oops, we hit a bystander. So it's not just the building jumps that can look like a vibe. We've got the stairway to the holiday season. How about train vibes? Choo-choo! All aboard the Sewer Slide Express! Wow, what a nice sunset. Damn, dude even left us with a little Van Gogh-styled painting as he went.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Now, at least in old school cartoons, as funny as some of the depictions are, it doesn't look so pretty and the characters seem under a lot of pain. Tom here clearly hasn't eaten in weeks. Here comes the choo-choo train again. It's the speedy return of the Sewer Slide Express. Yeah, those cartoons are quite the contrast from our chillaxing scenes in anime, a medium where you don't frequently get to see the suicidal aftermath. Now factor that in with all the isekai of people getting sent to another world where they'll likely lead happier lives, and pair that with all those alluring scenes, and you can't help but wonder, the anime industry might actually want us weebs to off ourselves. Maybe the late Norm Macdonald was right.
There's two reasons guys will hang themselves from the neck. One is, like we said, to escape this worthless masquerade of a life we pretend we have. And the second reason we hang ourselves from the neck is to whack off. These guys, I don't understand. It's called autoerotic asphyxiation. It's a big fancy word, but it's a filthy thing. And this is my problem with it. The risk reward is not good.
There's another side to the appealing anime suicide, however. The anime self-termination scenes that make suicide seem not so great. Not common, but damn can they look painful. Almost too painful. It's like a small few in the industry noticed a problem and took overly drastic measures.
Yeah, so these weebs, man, they're dying too much. We gotta stop this.
Yeah, you're right. But what are we gonna do?
I know. We'll make it look like a Left 4 Dead excess blood mod.
That's right. My crazy conspiracy that two secret factions are spreading hidden propaganda into anime, fighting over what weebs do with their bodies. The pro-lifers and the no-lifers. Yeah, the pro-lifers specialize in excess gore. They said, you thought suicide was a vibe? Some sort of joke? Well, look what happens when it lands. You see, people die when they kill themselves. Hey, do not use a pen for that. That is not how you commit Sudoku. Gruesome suicides aren't the only pro-lifer's advantage. Anime also has the trend of suicidal characters who can't seem to die. Nozomu in Zetsubo Sensei failed suicide so many times, he gained the ability to see the dead. That's what we call participation trophy vision. In No Longer Allowed in Another World, the MC and his lover attempted a double suicide via truck-kun, but naturally he instead became isekai. Your heart was in the right place. Now this new world summoned him to be a hero, so he was like, I'll fucking kill myself again. His attempts get averted, however, by his new personal cheer squad, but that doesn't stop him from constantly munching on a bottle of poisonous painkillers like it's candy. Don't call them lifesavers. Kaido in One Piece realized he was too strong to die, shattering guillotine blades on impact. So he made suicide his personal hobby. He isn't even suicidal out of depression, he just believes that death is rad and wants you to know he died in a super crazy way. It sounds like he'd be a nutty Gen Z streamer who thinks every waking moment of their life is a clout contest. Alright chat, suicide attempt number 78. This time we're trying a real-life Fortnite dive. Oh, finally here's a nice response from the no-lifers. Suicidal jumping jacks. Going out healthy, that deserves some extra points. But backstrike the pro-lifers. You would not want to be this hunk of bread.
Shush! My yeast is rising.
Not anymore, Ed. Not anymore. And here come the no-lifers offering friendship. Teamwork makes the afterlife dream work. Pro-lifers, how will you respond? Wait, you can't make a suicide look gruesome during a beach episode? That's against the rules I just made up. Penalty! Well, it looks like the no-lifers have their trump card ready. Sacrificial suicides! These guys accomplished big things with their deaths. This little guy blew up Yamcha. That's a win in my book. Yet people in DBZ seem to love to sacrifice or blow themselves up. The show really set the standard for other shonen. Deidara and Danzo in Naruto have it down. Fu from FMA's a pro. He's got the dynamite strap on. It's like what an ancient Hawaiian neckbeard once told me. You can't call yourselves a shonen anime without someone blowing themselves up. I mean, what's next? A My Hero quirk about suicide? Oh. Apparently the influence spread beyond just shonen. These suicide bombers are clearly disturbed. That point is gonna have to go to the pro-lifers. Electrode's definitely a big DBZ fan. You know, the pro-lifers could be doing better, but there are surprisingly so little mentions or bloody scenes of seppuku, despite anime being Japanese. How uncultural. Stupid One Piece blue balling us again. Also lacking are anime that focus on suicidal themes in a serious manner, and the ones that do exist mostly fail at it or seem goofy. Platinum End taught me that if I ever do try to end it all, I'll just be saved by an angel with a stupid fat ass. In this anime, a group of candidates must compete against each other to become the next god. As assistants, they're gifted powers like YouTube thumbnail arrows that can mind control. A bunch of dumb edge happens, and then the remaining dipshits decide democracy matters and hold a vote on who amongst them should become God. For some reason, they select the emo teenager who was using his arrows to help depressed people commit suicide. The emo teen then begins fusion dancing with the old god, which starts transferring over all his emo tendencies, a My Chemical Romance. So then the new god is all, "Teenagers, am I right?" and kills himself too. So God is now dead, thus this is how all the angels and every living thing on planet Earth begin to disappear. If life ain't just a joke, then everyone is dead. Anime over, that's it. Famous last words, the end. Pretty good story, right kids? I'm not okay! So, meanwhile, Wonder Egg priorities started cooking, seeming like a touching and dark artistic approach to suicidal themes. But then the ending Humpty Dumpty'd off a cliff so hard it made viewers want to do the same. Babylon tried to turn suicide into an odd philosophical debate over nonsense like the legalization of suicide, as if it commonly plays a factor in whether people do so. Hooray! More scenes for my Chill Beats playlist! That new rolling spreads to other countries where tons of people suddenly become big suicide supporters. It somehow then morphs into this moronic debate with various world leaders over whether suicide classifies as good or evil, and said debate is led by the President of the United States, who in this universe happens to be a gamer.
Joe, you are so bad at this game. You should do that thing. I think they call it suicide.
We're playing League of Legends, Jack. It's the same thing.
Yeah, this anime started okay, but just like those other two shows, the ending side was outright horrendous. Shows about suicide and bad endings, who would have thought? JoJo Part 6 is probably the dumbest depiction of a suicidal person ever. Thunder McQueen, a prisoner full of unrealistic Twitch speedrun mood swings, is constantly attempting suicide from one frame to the next over nothing. The show even calls him the purest form of evil for dragging others down and feeling like a victim. Jeez. It was all so stupid, and he was so repetitive that even the one-note character has more depth. Speaking of which, where is he? Oh no, he's suicidal, and he's poorly green-screened! As for well-done serious depictions of suicidal themes, there are a scarce few, like in Tokyo Godfathers, Orange, or the movie Colorful, but we're not here to talk about good serious things. We're here to laugh at fictional drawings becoming a hero, like this potato. The only time you'll get to see an anime character end themselves with a vegetable peeler. Madao from Gintama, meanwhile, adores rope. I barely even need to write a joke for this one, as this little kid asked him why he was building a swing when the playground already has them. Or, as today's real-life youth would call it, rope maxing. You know, we haven't seen that much gun usage yet. Can we get some guns on the menu? Wait, I didn't mean that literally. Shown here in summertime rendering, self-deleting can be the way an anime character activates their powers to return to the past. Isn't it such a useful tool? Point for the no-lifers! Homura, taking one to the Domura. Time Looper Rika reminds us that guns aren't the only things that can pierce a skull. Oh, nasty! Oh, thank God this isn't carpet. Good old Subaru and his return from death. He loves his pet Cliff. Okay, I lied. There is one well-done example of anime suicide that I'll mention. In Welcome to the NHK, this goofball NEET gets a glimpse of a friend's flyer and decides to join her for what he believes is a summer meetup with other strangers looking to start a new life on an island. Once there, he slowly deduces that it's actually a gathering for everyone to enjoy their final day at peace before initiating their suicide pact. The MC, not being quite suicidal himself, decides to keep up the act, as he's too much of a socially awkward mess to mention his mistake.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Too afraid of embarrassing himself, he ends up committing to the bit so hard that he nearly goes through with committing suicide, even when the rest of the group has already backed out. Dude got so into his acting, it felt like that one scene from Tropic Thunder.
Sort of fool my mind into believing that it wasn't retarded. And by the end of the whole thing, I was like, wait a minute, you know? I flushed so much out, how am I gonna
jumpstart it up again. It's just like...
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Honestly, while this episode is painfully hilarious, I also find it to be one of the most emotional and meaningful examples of suicide in anime, containing what I felt was a strong message on the beauty of living.
I couldn't commit suicide if my life depended on it.
Well, everyone, that about sums up most of the notable examples of anime suicide. As you've seen, it sure can be, well, interesting, or a hot mess. I'd actually like to see better or more serious, dark, and realistic depictions of suicide in anime. And if they're gonna be goofy with it, just go all the way. Get more creative. Magical Girl suicide transformations or something. Why did I make this video? I don't know, I like niche anime topics, and dark humor helps remind me of all the mental battles I've overcome. So take that, suicide. You may have had my number in the past, but now I can watch cute anime girls doing it all pretty, so I don't have to. Same to everyone. Look at the brighter things, like this random picture of my cat. And you can't die before One Piece ends. Oh, and one more thing. It's time for the final tally. Let's see which side will claim victory.
How could this happen?